I walked out in a storm the other night. I walked out into the river as it raged above its banks the other night. I'm sure the current would part around my waist, but I reached out for your hand. I admit I was afraid. Strong swimmer, though I know myself to be.
So let me welcome to the program today Alice Howe and her partner Freebo. And I think I got to tell, I think you guys have to tell the folks how you got together, because the last time I saw Alice, sounds like a song, she was on her way to Richard Thompson's song workshop, and that was 2 years ago. And you were on your own. You hadn't linked up with Freebo at that point. But
At that point, I think we weren't touring together as much as we have been lately, although we met at NERFA, the Northeast Regional Folk Alliance Conference,
okay,
where I've met so many wonderful musicians, and I met you there, Artie, and all these great DJs and venue promoters and everybody. So we had connected back in 2016 when I released my very first EP, You've Been Away So Long, and Freebo had suggested, if you ever want to work on a full-length record with a band, I could help you put the band together and I could produce some songs for you and see how it goes. So I flew out to California.
This was after she looked up to asked me what a producer does and all that kind of stuff.
Well, he introduced himself and I was like, Freebo, who is this Freebo character? So I went home and I turned over my mom's Bonnie Raitt records and saw him on the back. And I was like, okay, this guy seems legit.
I'll let this one go.
Yes, I trust him. So we ended up just having such a great experience making my last album, Visions, which came out in 2019, that we basically learned all of each other's material and started touring together as a duo, essentially backing each other up. Freebo plays the fretless bass with me. We sing harmonies together. We've written a lot of songs together, and then I accompany him on harmonies, and sometimes I play some bass.
Even fretless bass, I'm sure.
So we ended up taking that relationship, to make another record, and that's the new album, Circumstance, that we did at Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals.
That is so neat. And you say on your website that this album helped you come back to yourself and to your power. Tell me about that.
Ooh, he read the fine print. It was maybe I should speak to why I called the album Circumstance. I was going through a lot of change in my life just personally. I was leaving a long relationship. I was moving away from my hometown in Boston, where I grew up, and moving out to California, and just kind of entering a period of some more independence that I think I was really looking for a long time, but didn't know that I needed. And I think the songs and kind of the whole process of the way that the record came to be was very circumstantial. I really just followed my heart. I followed what opportunities arose along the way. We had the chance to go to Muscle Shoals. I was writing about all this stuff that I was going through. And I think it was really just for me, like, what kind of record do I want to make that's going to show me in where I'm at in my life now, where I can explore my voice, explore some different genres, explore different arrangements, all the possibilities that were available to me through working with Freebo and with the band of Muscle Shoals. So I really just feel like I sank into myself more than ever before. And I think that shows in the singing. I think it shows in the songwriting. So I guess that's what I mean by the power that's there. Yeah,
there's a greater maturity, and not only your voice, but in the words and all of the songs on the album. And I like I said, I hadn't really experienced anything that you did with Freebo prior to 2 years ago, really, when you guys did officially get to. I mean, you were on your way to California. You were so excited about the new apartment you were moving into. That was arranged by Jackson Brown's brother.
Oh, that's right. That's what I stayed with you.
In
That
that
was my
in that
first-
courtyard, and she's, it was
Oh
like,
my
this
God. That was my first place in LA. That's actually what got me to commit to moving out here, is that Freebo connected me with Severin Brown, who is Jackson's brother. I am like a huge Jackson Brown fan, grew up on his music, and obviously Freebo played with him in the 70s and was on the Late for the Sky tour with him and Bonnie, and they have a lot of history. So I ended up being able to rent a little piece of this house that's on the cover of For Every Man. So I was like, all right, I have to go. I don't have a choice. I have to go.
Yeah, and you took the right direction. How would you say, it's kind of evident, but how would you say Freebo has changed your approach to music and everything about your career right
Interesting question. Nobody's ever asked it quite like that. Well, if I may speak about him, although he's sitting right here, Freebo,
Better say something good.
he brings so much experience to the table. He brings a lifetime of working on records, working with some of the greatest singers of our time. Really, he's worked with Bonnie Raitt, Maria Muldaur, he's worked with Crosby, Stills and Nash, and I mentioned Jackson. And I mean, he's met so many people and played with so many people that I just idolized growing up and have really formed my musical consciousness, that I think Freebo just really has expanded what I do. I think what I do was, my writing and my voice, that's innate to who I am, but together we've really helped to, I guess, just expand and grow, my potential. And he's been my coach. I mean, he's my coach. Like, he's there in the studio being like, you know what? I think you could do that better than you did the last take. Why don't you do it again? And I never had anybody in my life really pushing me in that way, just musically. I always was pretty much on my own with recording and doing everything myself. So I never had somebody kind of looking in and saying, you know what, I think here's where you could improve. And I think you can see in the growth of my last 3 releases, just how that influence has really been just creatively very fruitful for me. Would you like to say something?
Well, thank you for that. That's really sweet. I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, I think this whole life journey is about giving it away. You pick things up along the way, and whether you study it or it comes into you by osmosis, and then it's a question of sharing it. And I feel blessed, fortunate, and grateful that I have somebody as talented as Alice to be able to share that with and give her these things that I've learned from working with Bonnie and Maria and Nicolette Larson and Crosby, and again, all the people she's talking with, and even doing my own music and learning the lessons that I've learned. I think it's all about learning lessons, and then, and you learn them by making mistakes. So hopefully, if some of my mistakes have helped Alice, where she doesn't have to make the same one, she probably will have to make the same one, because that's the way it works. But and also for me as a producer, my job, I always like to say, is to help shape the music and frame the vocal. So here's a beautiful voice, just the instrument itself is gorgeous, and her musical sensibility is very similar to mine. I think I've been able to help expand that a little bit, but also tap into stuff that I could see was already there. Listening to records like Muddy Waters and Taj Mahal and Joan Baez and all these different influences that were also my influences, where I could see, I see you have a little bit of Muddy Waters. Let's explore that a little bit. Let's get a little deeper into that. I think you've been shying away from that because you're a folk guitarist, you don't play that kind of music. But if we put you with some people who can play that style, watch what happens to your vocals. So that was part of the process, I think, of putting Alice with a band where she didn't have to be the band, where she could hear the musical influence and the simpatico that happens with that, where that's just the way it works when you work in tandem with other great players. You hear stuff and it inspires you to go to places you've never gone
Yeah,
before.
I feel like that just occurred to me as you were describing that. I feel like I've really become a singer with, through our work together. Whereas before and I am a songwriter, but I was like singer, songwriter, kind of accompanying myself in like a much more, I wasn't thinking of myself as like, I am a singer. And like now I really think I'm just really owning that. And I really know how to use my voice, and I know how to just explore with it and do different things with it that I just didn't know how to do before because I didn't have the experience. And it's really that 10,000 hours that I've been put in over the last few years.
Exactly.
I was stunned into silence with no right to be. Nobody seemed too surprised. I should have known that the joke was on me. Something inside of me changed. Maybe you'll thank me someday, but I got to believe that somehow you're somebody's new lover now. Of the world up in the clouds, and I couldn't come down. Now I want a taste of it all, and it's nobody's fault. I can't stay on the ground. Something inside of me changed. Maybe you'll thank me someday, but I got to believe it somehow. You're somebody's new lover now. Yeah.
And what else? What haven't I asked you? Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. This is aimed at Freebo. Of course, I would never ask you the question, how does Alice compare to some of the people that you've worked with, I wouldn't ask that question, but I will ask you, how different is Alice than some of the people that you've worked with? What's different about her?
Well, number one, she's younger,
Yeah,
a lot younger.
Let's see how diplomatic he can be.
right.
Well, she's the same as Bonnie because they both have red hair. So there we go. And she's the same as Bonnie because they both have incredible instruments.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I like to say Alice has a 1 in a billion voice, the instrument, as does Bonnie, as do a few people, because the voice is the voice. It's God given.
Yeah.
Then it's a question of what you do with it. How you train it, how you develop it, what you choose to sing. There's some great singers on American Idol and The Voice who have incredible voices who to me just like totally oversing, and it's all about ego. So when the word ego comes up, what I love about Alice's singing, as with Bonnie's, as with Maria's, as with really the great singers, it's not about ego. The voice, the singer is there to deliver the song. It's all about the song. It's about the melody. And the singer is singing the melody and the lyrics that are expressing the emotion of that song. So it's a question of how you do that, how you choose to evoke that emotion and emote it. And that to me is what Bonnie, for example, does better than anybody else on the planet. I think when she sings a song, she means it. And she's not trying to she has her riffs. Yes, she has her melody. She has her little blues thing. She has her Bonnieisms. But when it comes down to it, she is living the emotion of the song. And that's where I believe I've been able to just coach or help or guide Alice into doing more of that. And any singer is going to think, as a player, as a bass player, you learn your riffs. You learn all your little things to do in your own posture, your dig it in, your funky stuff, and it's your whole vocabulary. So you develop a vocabulary. And as a singer, you do the same thing. You learn your blues riffs and your funky riffs and your folk riffs and all that stuff. And so you want to use those when you're singing. Okay, where can I put this one? Oh, where can I put this one? So you start off as a player or singer by thinking you're kind of crafting your song and your craft. Where can I do? Where can I go up? Where can I change the melody? Where can I vary it? Where do I have to be true to it, et cetera? Eventually, when you get to the next level, and then to the next level, is where you begin to make the song your own. And then where you get, okay, here's the melody, here's the lyrics. Now it's almost like an acting thing. How do you become that character? And when you do that, something happens and you go to a much higher level. And I think that's what Alice is doing, and that's what the great singers are doing. And no, Alice is not Bonnie Raitt or Maria or Linda Ronstadt. She's Alice Howe. And the more she focuses on being Alice Howe, the more authentic she's going to be. And it's about being authentic. And again, it doesn't mean you can't pick up riffs and ideas from the great people who came before you. We all stand on the shoulders of the people who came before us. But when it comes down to it, what can I learn from them? What can I learn from myself? How can I study this? How can I really become a student of the craft? And then do it, spend the 10,000 hours, which is really important, which is also why Alice is getting better and better. I'm getting better and better at my advanced age. And I feel good about that. You keep learning, you keep getting better, until you die and you don't. But you have that amount of time. You have that, so.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Up in the morning, work like a dog. fella, he eats like a horse, knocks his old balls round his old golf course. You ought to see his wife, she's a sweet little dish. She smokes like a chimney and she drinks like a fish. There's a big old goofy man dancing with a big old goofy girl. Ooh, baby, it's a big old goofy world. Now Elvis had a woman with a head like a rock. I wish I had a man that would make my knees knock. He'd sing like an angel and he'd eat like a bird. And if I wrote a song, he'd know every single word. I'd kiss a little baby and give the world a smile. And if you take an inch, give him back a mile. If you lie like a rug and you don't give a damn, you're never gonna be as happy as a clam. There's a big old goofy man dancing with a big old goofy girl. Ooh, baby, it's a big old goofy world. So I'm sitting in a hotel, trying to write a song. My head is just as empty as the day is long. Why, it's clear as a bell, I should have gone to school. I'd be wise as an owl instead of stubborn as a mule. There's a big old goofy man dancing with a big old goofy girl. Ooh, baby, it's a big old goofy world. There's a big old goofy man dancing with a big old goofy girl. Ooh, baby, it's a big old goofy world.
There's only up from here because the combination of your voice, your songwriting, and Freebo's guidance will surely make you even bigger than you hope to be. What do you hope to be, by the way?
Question.
On the record, God, I'm on the record right now. Let's see. I am very ambitious. I hope to be able to make a really good living doing what I love. I mean, I'm on my way. I'm able to work doing what I love already. So I already feel really fortunate that I can do that. At this level, it's really challenging. I have to manage most of it on my own and with Freebo, and we're doing our booking and we're doing our promotion, and it's a lot. I can't only focus on the music. If one day I could sell 500, 1,000, 1,500 seats and just, play the music and have a career like Gillian Welch, where she's known for her voice and her songs. I mean, that's where I'd love to be someday. Yeah.
Why not?
Or Brandy Carlisle.
Oh my God.
People who have stayed true. What I really aspire to is someone who stays true to themselves and never changes what they do, but reaches the people who care about what they do.
That couldn't have said it any better. I should mention, by the way, folks, Alice's website has lots of great information. The thing that I read before came from that website. She talks about herself, and if you check out the schedule, you are going to find for folks in this area that Alice and Freebo are going to be at Arts Inn, INN, in Fleischman's on July 20th. So do you know the time that's going to be, Alice?
I don't know it off the top of my head. It's probably between
Probably in the evening.
7 and 8 o'clock.
That's what I think. That's what I figured.
It's listed on my site though. If you go to alicehowe.com, all the details are.
I already asked for tickets, so I think there's a thing to click for tickets on your website.
We're very excited about it. The folks there are just so kind, and we love talking with them. Thank you for connecting us with them. We love the area. We're so excited to be back in that part of the world.
I'm so happy that this worked out for you.
Yeah, because we haven't said much about it. Just so that folks know, I have a brand new album that just came out about a month.
I'm sorry, I haven't talked about it.
No, it's okay. I just want to share that's a big thing that's been going on for us. We recorded it at a famous studio in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, where
called Fame.
Aretha Franklin and Wilson Pickett and Etta James and all these incredible artists recorded there. We had a chance to work with an amazing band, and we're just so excited that the record is out. It's been getting a lot of great reviews, a lot of great airplay. So, the album's called Circumstance, and you can find it. You can stream it anywhere. You can order a CD if you want through my website, but definitely, check it out so you can get excited about the songs that we're going to be playing on the 20th.
And that, of course, will be available for folks who come to the concert on July 20th in Fleischman's, New York. Alice, Howe, and Freebo. Oh man, I can't wait. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's been so much fun, and I'll see you on the 20th of July.
Great.
Have a great afternoon.
Bye, Artie. I'm so glad you're here with us still, and you made it through.
I am too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And wild, like I'm a newborn child. It's how you hold me, how you're holding me now. And when I'm blue, that's when I remember to be great.